What up, college football fans? I'm having some mixed emotions. I am a little disappointed in the game that I saw last night with Mississippi State and Texas A&M. As an Aggie fan, you know, we going through it. But you know what? I saw a lot of bright spots and I saw a lot of bad spots. I saw something last night that, I haven't seen us do any time yet this season, which was we just didn't focus on the run. We started passing because we were down. But it also showed me that we can actually pass down the field with no issue, And that was blowing my mind. I'm like, why haven't we been doing this all game? Max Johnson finally got a chance to, showcase his arm a bit. He did put some dimes out there. Some of the bad spots, Evan Stewart, I just don't know if he's ready yet. You guys are trying to put him on this high pedestal. Yeah, he's a 5-star. He's still a freshman. He's still a kid. There ain't no excuses because you got to be ready for whatever they throw out you on that field, because you got to be able to take that criticism as well. I feel like he is a special player that's coming up. I feel like he's having one of those seasons where he knows he's going to have a lot of missed opportunities to drop balls. And, he'll be able to capitalize from that probably next season. And maybe he might grow this season. He's going to go back and probably watch film and be like, oh, man, I should have did this. How did I let that ball slip out of my hand? It's a lot that goes through somebody's head, especially in a hostile crowd like Mississippi State. And I give my hat to Mississippi State. They came prepared. They came ready to play. It was a home game. They showed up and they showed up. And I told y'all, they showed up, they showed out. Will Rogers, very great quarterback. He has a lot of poise. He doesn't make too many errant throws. He sticks to that plan. He believes in his receivers. Let's say that. Because ducking the first time, he was frustrated like, hey, and the next play, Will Rogers went right back to him. Touchdown. Even though I think that was a PI, which should have been called. It wasn't called. And, you're going to get that at home. You'll get them kind of calls at home. And that's all good. What a lot of people do here is that they don't watch the game. They don't study the film. They don't know what's going on. They just fans like, oh, this isn't working. Oh, this is terrible. They playing like crap. Okay, go back and watch this game. Mississippi State opened it up at the end. This game was closer than what most people thought, because it could have been 14-14 at the half. They capitalized off of our turnovers. That's what happened. We're marching down the field. You got Devon A-Chain. Marching down to the goal line. We're probably about 15, maybe 20 yards from being in the end zone. He busts up the middle, and, he giving them a little bit of that shady, and he ends up losing the football. I mean, it happens. It's football. This man has constantly produced this entire season. He's putting his team on his back, and we just need somebody else to step up. And there's certain players that I haven't seen on the field that I know can play, and Jimbo needs to let that happen. You gave Le'Veon Moss one carry. What happened to Armani Daniels? You put L.J. Johnson in. He did pretty good. You got to give repetition to all your players in order for them to get the game experience. You don't know who's going to have a breakout game. And especially the way the offense is being run right now, it needs to happen. You need to see who you got on your team who can play, because Anaya Smith is gone. Hopefully we get Max Johnson back by next week for Bama, but it's time to move on from the Haynes King era. This guy is just picking up every time he gets in the game where he left off. This kid has more picks than he has touchdowns. Thrown touchdowns at that. He made the game put way out of hand. He threw 2 picks in a row on 2 consecutive drives and one for a pick 6. That just didn't make sense. You should have gave Connor Wayman a chance to get in the game and showcase what? At least something he could do. We were marching down the field. Max Johnson gets hurt. And like I said, is something we haven't seen all season. Being able to produce first downs, going on drives, and scoring touchdowns. It just seems like there's no belief in his younger guys. And I can't say that about Max Johnson. I think he's just going with the system. Jimbo needs to let his quarterbacks play. Throw it to those guys. You have nothing but athletes on the field. You got Chris Marshall. You got Evan Stewart. You got Musa Muhammad. You got, Preston. You got Price. You got Keith Brown. You got all these guys that aren't even, they probably touching the field, but they not even getting the ball thrown to them. Green, the tight end, he's playing very well. These guys are growing up in the middle of the season. For all of y'all who thought this team was finna be a national championship contender this year, no. I don't care how media hypes it up. It would be nice. Name one team in NCAA that's played 28 freshmen, and most of them starting, who've won the national championship. Bama has not done it. So please, Alabama fans, like I said, I'm venting right now, and I'm speaking facts. So if you want to hold your comments out there, please do that somewhere else. Because that's ridiculous. If you come on here and be like, well, Bama did it. No, they have not done it. They've put freshmen in there with veteran players. We have 3 veteran players on our team. One is out right now for the rest of the season. The other is on the offensive line, and the other is on the defensive side of the ball. That's it. We lost a lot last year. So I don't know who came up with this assumption that we were going to win. Hell, I had my high hopes. Yeah, this is a nice recruiting class. Everybody's like, oh, you got the #1 recruiting class, and that's what you put on the field. Yeah, the offense is not that great, but defense is producing. And I feel like offense would produce if we let that ball go a little bit more, like we was showing yesterday in the Mississippi State game. Because that's what's just going to have to happen against Alabama. Now, like I said, Mississippi State came prepared to play. We did not really show blitz a lot. We didn't blitz Will Rogers enough. We didn't apply that pressure. I don't know what it is about the A&M staff. If you don't see things going the way you think they should, make adjustments then. DJ Durkin should have started applying pressure to Will Rogers in the first half. You leave Will Rogers open that long, he's going to find somebody. He trusts his receivers. I mean, he's just throwing the ball up there. He don't care. He knows he's placing it. His guys are going to go get him. And A&M defense held strong for a very long time. Then it got to the point to where, hey, a big play happens, hey, it happens. And that was on a redshirt freshman, Deuce Harmon, the big long play. It happens. We putting these guys out here to get that game time experience. It happens with any program. For all you guys who hate on everything about the Aggies, do I think Jimbo Fisher is a great coach? No, I think Jimbo Fisher is a decent coach. Yeah, we paying him a lot of money. Hey, that's that man bag. I mean, but stop comparing him to Kevin Sumlin. These are 2 different styles of coaching. He's a rich man Kevin Sumlin. Oh, he's the white Kevin Sumlin. No, he is not. When Kevin Sumlin was there, we didn't have to worry about scoring points like that. Our end became a defensive end. Well, like, dang, are we going to stop this team from scoring? And like I said before, there was no reason to fire Kevin Sumlin. I actually love the fact that we had Kevin Sumlin on that team. I felt like the school did not back Kevin Sumlin the way they should have. They gave him a piss-poor offensive coordinator his 3rd time around. Defensive coordinator, they could never get that right. All these top-tier defensive coordinators they had, and they just kept giving him middle to bottom-tier coordinators, period. And he still was able to put out 8-4. Yeah, that's not saying a lot, but when did becoming winning 10 games every single year become so important to everybody? It's been so many coaching changes. But that's a video for another time. Back to this game. Okay. Like I said, I'm a realist. I'm not going to be a biased freaking fan, but I will give you the facts and the history about this team. So, with that being said, I was very disappointed in this game last night. I'm up all night because I'm just like, it was simple adjustments. Players didn't step up. They weren't really prepared for this game, offensively or defensively. Defensively, Mississippi State ran the ball on us like no other. Yeah, the pass opens up for the run opens up for the pass, but they're not a running team. Now, they do have good running backs, but we stayed in a 3-man front the entire game. Didn't bring up really any pressure except maybe on third downs. We would show like we were coming in and then we would get walled off. Yeah, you're bringing one on one side and then expecting him just to bust through because you got 5 on 4 now. That's not going to work. They have a veteran offensive line. They have a really good offensive line. And you think having an inexperienced D-line with guys that played from last year are going to get enough push. You've seen it all season long. We don't create enough push or enough pass rush. There's no twists, no stunts, none of them tricky fronts out there to actually get to the football, to the quarterback. You just want these guys to be pure athletes. Oh, yeah, get to the ball. You got to coach them up. You got to coach them correctly. And I know Elijah Robinson and Terry Price are the gurus of defensive linemen. But as a coordinator, you have to know who you got on that field and what you can do. Now, offensive side of the football, it frustrates me that all we could do is the same thing over and over. Run Devon A. This man is going to get hurt because they know exactly who the ball going to. You running this ball down everybody's throat with a 190-pound running back. You're setting up screens. You're putting them in the slot. You're using him way too much. He is not Booby Miles. He is Devon A. He's fast. He can get you what you need in certain instances. He is not no 30 carry a game running back. And then you got him playing wide receiver. Put somebody else out there on the field. You have more than a capable roster. It just does not sit well with me how we played last night. Aggie fans, I need to hear something from y'all. And not know Jimbo should be fired. He's not getting fired, so get that out. Get that out the comments. I need to hear real stuff from y'all. Like, what did y'all see in the game that made y'all go like, wow, I need bright and I need low points? I will share whoever has the best comment in a video when I do my preview and prediction. Because y'all know who we got this week. We got Bama. And I'm going to say this. These Bama fans, it's so crazy. It's one out there, he's the guy who has a lot of hatred for these Aggies. It's really Jimbo Fisher. And I can't blame him. I can't say Jimbo is a great coach. They like, he a fraud, he getting paid this. Everybody's like, you bought the #1 class and that's all you can show. Tell me, how long does it take before a #1 class actually excels in football? It's going to take about a year, maybe 2. But I think they're getting so much experience this year, it only has to translate to next year. This is so much game experience that they're getting, especially defensively. These boys on the field damn near 100 snaps a game. Because teams are, man, they putting up high play numbers. They getting about 60 to 80 plays a game. And that's crazy. Mississippi State had about 40 to 45 plays in the first half alone. That's a lot. And the defense still had strong. A team ran 45 plays in the first half, and the defense only gave up 14 points. And a lot of that was off of capitalizing off of turnovers. So, like I said, I can't be mad at defense. Offense gave up 2 touchdowns. And then you had a special teams touchdown. We just leave money on the field on offense. And we can't blame nobody but the coaches. I can't blame the players. Man, I'll see you when this preview and prediction come out.